All right. Go ahead and get yourself into a comfortable seat. You can start with your bottoms of your feet together. Your feet can be out far in front of you, they can be close to you, whatever's comfortable, where you can still where you don't have any pain in your outer hips. And we will gently move our feet in. So you can start out as far as is comfortable for you. You can start just by lowering your gaze or closing your eyes. You can imagine there's a string coming from the top of your head. Pull it nice and tight. Open up each of the vertebrae in your spine. Go ahead and scoot your feet closer to your body, maybe a millimeter. Check in with that spine again. You can feel your sit bones grounding into the mat. If you'd like some support, you can always stick blocks under your knees or blankets or pillows or anything like that. And if it's available to you, you can move those heels about a millimeter closer to your body. Go ahead and inhale here. Imagine all thoughts in your head expelling with your exhale. Imagine any thoughts coming towards you, just passing by, leaving with your next exhale, whatever you'd like. Move those heels a little closer to you. Imagine life and everything around, everything outside of this moment. It's being like wind wisping around your head. You are the calm center, unaffected by all the things around. Feel the bottoms of the feet touching each other. Feel the outer edges of the feet against the floor of the mat. Feel your sit bones grounded down. Feel that lengthening in your spine. Wherever your hands are, if on your knees or ankles, touching each other. Just register what you're touching with your hands. Give your legs a rest and bring those heels out. Bring them back toward as ever. Wherever is comfortable for you. Few rounds of Daddy Shodhana breath. So when you're ready, we'll take our two-piece fingers, place them on the third eye between the eyebrows. Your thumb will cover up one nostril, and your ring finger and pinky will eventually cover the other. Start with your right nostril cover. Inhale here. Release your nostril, exhale. Closing the other nostril, inhale through the right. Closing off the right nostril, exhale out. Inhaling here. Nostrils. And exhaling. Inhaling here. Breathing off nostrils. And exhaling on the other side. Inhaling again. Continue this breath at your own pace. Your own breath. Always pausing to exhale on the opposite nostril. Bring your heels closer to you if that's available to you. On your next exhale out the right nostril, you can release your hand. Gently open your eyes. Release any blocks or support you may have, and you can gently cross your legs. And careful not to stack the legs, and just place them one in front of you. Start with a gentle stretch to the side. Start with just the body and the shoulder. No need to include the arms yet. See if you can feel space in those intercostal muscles before you move to the side. Pinning that hip down, pinning those sit bones into the ground, just feeling that stretch in the side body. And you can come back to center. We'll do the other side. You can use your hand to pin that hip down if that's nice, if that's available to you. Pinning that sit bone down, feeling stretch in the sit bones here. Careful not to get it into your neck. Coming back to center. Go ahead and inhale the arms into the air. Sighing those shoulders down the mat. I'll place one hand on the mat, reaching that opposite arm over top. Careful not to eat the ear with the shoulder. Shining that chest towards the ceiling if that's available to you. Thumb is pointed towards the back of the room. Pinky is pointed towards the front. See if you can find any elongation here, any length in your arm, any length in your side body. If I were to tell you to stretch as far as you can, then I told you to stretch a little bit further, and you can stretch a little bit further, stretch a little. And on your next exhale, we're going to fold forward, bringing that shoulder down. Inhaling back up. Careful to keep those sit bones planted to the ground. Exhale back. And inhaling up. Do one more like that. Exhale back. Inhaling back up. Coming back to center on your exhale. Sighing those shoulders down the back. Nice big inhale here. And we'll exhale down to the other side, reaching that arm over top, finding length in your intercostal muscles in that side body, finding length in that arm. If I told you to stretch as far as you could and then stretch a little bit more, you could find that length in the side body. And on your exhale, let's bring that shoulder down to the knee. And inhale back up. Exhale that shoulder down to the knee. Inhaling back up. We'll do one more like that. Exhaling down. Inhaling back up. You can bring those arms back to center. Bring them down to the front. Walk those fingertips forward, keeping that spine nice and long. Don't need to round at the back yet. See if you can find length in your tailbone here. Even practice a little tucks and tilts with your tailbone. Imagine one straight line going from the top of your head to the bottom of your tailbone, stretching in either direction. Walk those fingertips back and go ahead and switch the crossing of the legs. Careful not to stack them. When you're comfortable, we're going to walk forward again. Make that nice long line. See if you feel any different on, excuse me, see if you feel any different on this side. My sit bones happen to be screaming when I do this, but if you aren't feeling anything, I understand. I'll go ahead and walk those fingertips back and just shine that chest forward towards the ceiling for a moment. And you can come back to center. We'll relax the arms, stretch them out to the sides, bring your palms up like you're pressing the door or the walls away from you. We'll just go ahead and move those shoulder joints around. Put those arms around the shoulder, rotate the shoulders. You can think of the word rotate. Rotate the shoulders around the shoulder joints for a few moments. If it helps, you can also this or bend your fingers. And we'll rest the arms down again. Bring them back up like you're a beautiful bird. We'll cross one arm over the body, grabbing behind the elbow, shrugging that shoulder down. See if you can find length in your bicep here. If you want to give it a massage, you can. One of my dogs is pouting, but go ahead and make a nice big wide T again, and then cross, stretching the opposite arm. Again, massaging the bicep if that feels nice for you. Making sure you're not grabbing at your elbow. Opening those arms nice and wide again. We'll come straight up into the air, side those shoulders down the back, tuck the ribs back in. Bend one elbow down. You can press your hand onto the elbow. And using the weight of your hand, you can just stretch the arm down the back. Option to bring your hand behind you for a bind if you would like, if that's available to you. See if you can reach your elbow high in the air, but reach your hand down your back. From here, we'll go nice and tall in the air again. Press the walls out all the way down. Give your shoulders a little shaken. And we'll press the walls up again, arms all the way up. We'll bend the opposite arm down, opposite elbow down, using your weight on your elbow, weight of your hand on your elbow to reach your hand down. You can come into the bind if it's available to you. You can reach your elbow up as high as you want and as high as possible. As high as is comfortable. How about that? Reach your elbow up high into the air and then stretch the hand down the back. Release your hand, release your arm, release both back down, all the way to the ground. Your shoulders a little shake out again. This time we'll do a nice big T. This time cross the arms, reaching the fingertips behind you if that's available to you. Sighing those shoulders down the back. Opening the arms up, crossing the opposite elbow on top, reaching the fingertips around the shoulder blades, and sighing the shoulders down the back. Release your arms out to the side, release them down, give your shoulders a little shrug out. And we will stretch that feet out in front. Nice long legs, give your knees a little shake out. You can flex your feet and point your feet. Wake up those ankles. And when you're ready, make your spine nice and long. If you are like me and you hyperextend your joints, it might be easier to make your spine long if you give yourself a little bend in the knee. A lesson I will never learn. Lift one of your legs up, hug that knee into the chest nice and tight. Place that foot on the outside of the thigh. Grab your thumb and hook it into your hip to really elongate that leg. Elongate that thigh, press that hip down. You can even feel a bit of a twist here if you'd like. We're going to take that opposite arm, you're probably tugging the leg with, into the air, nice tall spine. Again, maybe a little bend in that knee. We'll hook the elbow around the knee and then twist to the back of the room. Again, grounding that sit bone down into the mat. Twisting in the midsection. On your next exhale, you can come back to the center. Give yourself a nice little count and twist to the opposite side. And release your leg down, give your legs a little shake out. You can bend the opposite knee towards you, give yourself a nice hug with that leg as tight as possible. Opposite arm, this leg goes up into the air. You can bring that sit bone nice and down into the ground and then twist to the back of the room. Twisting from the midsection, keeping that spine nice and long. Nice deep breath to elongate the spine. Exhale to twist to the back of the room. Inhaling nice and long. Exhale to twist. On your next inhale, back to the center. Exhale, nice little counter twist to the other side. Then bring your knees down. Give them a nice light little shake out. And remove any of the meat from your sit bones. Make sure they're nice and connected to the mat. Give a slight bend in your knee, especially if you hyperextend. Wow, just my ring. And then just fold forward slightly. No reason to round in the back. And grab your ankles, grab your feet. As long as your back is still straight. And release, rounding in the back. Slowly coming forward. And we will switch to our shins. Jump on the shins. And tuck those back toes under and gently walk your fingertips up. Tuck those back toes under and help them stay down. Gently walk those fingertips back. Let's see if you can walk them up the board. Legs. Relaxing in those toes, stretching those toes out. If this is too intense for you, you can always walk back forward toward the mat again. Just concentrate on stretching out the toes. Go ahead and crawl forward a little bit. Press the tops of the toes onto the mat. Just rock back. You can either lift your knees into the air if that feels nice to you. If that feels crazy, like you're rocking back and forth. You can also come into a tabletop pose and just lift the knees. Just give those toes a nice little stretch in the opposite direction. Pull on the top of the feet. We've had enough of that. Tuck those back toes under again. We're gonna walk those fingertips back. Help your toes if they need it. And here goes one. So walk your hands up, grab your belly button, and pull your body forward. This is really effective if you have something in front of you like a wall or a set of blocks, because you don't it's very hard to understand how far away getting at a 90-degree angle actually is. So go ahead and pull your belly button until you can feel sensation in the front of your thighs here. When you're ready, we'll windmill one arm backwards behind you to grab onto your heels. And then windmill the opposite hand back to grab onto the other heel. Pressing that belly button forward in space, pressing that pelvis forward, reaching toward a vertical line. Nice slow breaths here. On your next exhale, we'll windmill one arm back forward, and then the other one will come down to our tabletop pose. Untuck those toes and glue those onto the mat. Palms are underneath shoulders, underneath hips, coming into that nice neutral spine. And we'll start off by dropping those udders down, shining that chest forward and coming to a cow. Take a few breaths in cow pose. Really sinking into the pose with each breath. Then on your next exhale, you can pull that belly button towards the spine, lift it in the air, drop that neck down, and come into a cat pose. Option to tuck toes under and come up onto your fingertips here. Release any tension you may have in your glutes, in your jaw or in the back of your neck. And on your next inhale, we'll go into our cow. Exhaling to cat. Inhaling for cow. Roll. Exhaling for cat. Releasing any tension in your glutes here. Continuing this movement at your own breath and your own pace, linking the breath to the movement. Ready, we'll come to stillness with a nice flat back. And we'll start just by shaking the hips from side to side like you were a dog and you had a tail. But when you shook your tail, your whole hip went with it. Maybe your hip is trying to reach your shoulder. You can spend some time in one side. You can stretch out the hips in the opposite direction. Press yourself down to pose. Press yourself up to baby chaturanga. Opening up the spine, waking up the spine, introducing new movements. When you're ready, we'll come to a bit of stillness. Let's reach the left arm forward and the right leg back. Exhale to reach that elbow to knee in the center. Inhaling, nice long body. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale one more time, nice long body. Exhale, elbow to knee. Come back to your tabletop. We'll elongate the right hand and the left leg in opposite directions. Nice big inhale here. Exhale to bring the elbow to the knee. Inhaling nice and long. Exhaling, elbow to knee. Inhale nice and long. Exhaling, elbow to knee. We'll come back to our tabletop pose. We're going to lift one leg into the air at a right angle. And then open up the hips like you were in downward facing dog. Good. Exhaling that knee back down. We'll lift the opposite leg into the air, opening up the hips. Looks like you're in downward dog. Exhaling here, coming back down to your tabletop pose. We'll tuck the toes under and press back to downward facing dog. Starting by pedaling through the feet. Do this quickly, you can do this slowly, you can linger in one spot if it feels nice. Next inhale, we'll lift the heels into the air nice and high. Then exhale them back. Reaching towards the back. On your next inhale, let's roll forward to plank. Pressing the mat away from you. Releasing your glutes, releasing the back of your jaw, back of your neck. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg into the air for three-legged dog, opening up the hips. You can let that foot fall behind you and lift your hand for rock star pose if that's available. On your next exhale, we'll come back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg into the air, three-legged dog, opening up those hips, dropping that foot back behind you, and lifting your arm if that's available to you. Otherwise, just let the weight of your foot pull your leg down. On your next exhale, we'll come back to our downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg into the air for three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open up the hips, swing that foot forward. Come into a nice low lunge. Just going to hang out in our low lunge for a moment. Up on the ball of the foot in the back. From here, you can sink into this low lunge if that feels nice for you. Maybe let your hips down, maybe let your back knee hit the mat. Maybe you can feel that psoas muscle opening in your hip to groin area of the front. Here, we're just gonna lean back, come into that runner's stretch, bringing that bum towards the back heel, reaching that forehead towards the shin. Like a modified runners, I guess. Two birds. Exhaling to come forward and sink into those hips again if that feels nice for you. We'll come back to our tabletop pose. Give your hips a little shake out here. We'll tuck those back toes under and press back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, you can practice micro movements in your hips, doing like tilts and tucks of the pelvis. Nod your head yes, you can shake your head no, you can move your head I don't know. From here, we'll lift the left leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Pay attention to that back down towards the mat. We'll bend the knee, open up the hips, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Just gonna hang out in this low lunge for a moment. From here, you can kind of sink down in that low lunge if that feels nice to you. Place your knee on the mat if that feels nice. Maybe bend the front knee a little bit deeper. You can feel your psoas muscle opening here on your right side. Then from here, we'll just pull that bum back towards the heel, bring the opposite toes up into the air for a modified runner stretch. Pulling that pulling that forehead towards your shoulder. Next exhale, we're gonna go back to our low lunge. Again, sinking into that psoas, sinking into that front leg. Maybe even resting your chest on your knee. And gently moving your foot back to your tabletop pose. Give your hips a little tilt and tuck if that feels nice for you. Maybe a little shake back and forth. We'll tuck those toes under, press back to downward facing dog. And then gently step forward. Doing a forward fold at the front of the mat. Your knees can be bent as much as you'd like. Be folded forward as deeply as you'd like. But see if you can't pull both the top of the head and the bottom of the feet towards the ground. Pay attention to your knees. Make sure they're not knocking into each other. You can always place a block in between them to help. Here, gently walk your fingertips up so they're on your shins, keeping your body folded forward. Pay attention to your spine. Are you rounded in your back or do you have a nice long straight spine? Make your spine nice and straight and then come up into your flat back. See if you felt anything in the back of your thighs here. That made a difference. I'm just telling you what my body's doing, by the way. That doesn't have to happen in your body too. On your next exhale, side out too. On your next exhale, forward back into that forward fold. Maybe you're folding a bit deeper this time. Maybe your knees are a little bit less bent. Maybe your neck's a little looser. Maybe you're pointing those sit bones towards the sky a little bit high. On your next inhale, we're gonna go back to the fingertips, crawling them up the legs. And then when we get to the hips, we're gonna gently roll up that spine, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous one. So you're in a standing pose at the front of the mat. Heel. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. You can shake your knees out, you can shake your hips out. But make sure that check in with the bottom of your feet. Make sure you are standing hips width distance or wider. All four corners of the feet are glued to the mat. Inhaling the arms up above the head for Urdhva Hastasana. From here, sigh those shoulders down the back. On your next exhale, we're going to gently fold forward. Inhale into your nice flat back, making sure your spine is nice and tall. Yeah. Exhale to fold forward. We'll plant the hands and step back to a plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And pressing back to a down dog. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to fold the front. On your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward, inhaling to gently roll up the stand. Give your knees a little shake out, give your hips a little shake out. I take a drink of water. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling the arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Really exhaling those shoulder blades down the back so the arms are stretching forward than the spine. We're going to exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on chin, nice long flat back. Exhale, folding forward, plant your hands, step back to plank. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin. Inhaling for cobra or upward facing dog, pressing back to a down dog. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hump or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. We'll inhale the arms above the head for Urdhva Hastasana. Melting the shoulders down the back and folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, run through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chest and chin back. Inhaling for low cobra, upward facing dog, pressing back to a down. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to your forward fold of the mat. From here, we'll place hands on shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward and inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet are hips width distance apart or wider. All four corners of the feet are connected to the mat. In your next inhale, we lift the arms into the air for Hastasana. Exhale those shoulders down the back. Inhale here, we'll exhale to fold forward. On your next inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. Plant your hands and step back to plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a little more upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward. And inhaling to gently roll up to stay. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. All four corners of the feet pressing down into the ground. You're gonna lift the arms into the air for Urdhva. Exhale those shoulders down the back. Nice big inhale here. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to straighten your back. Bring your hands onto your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Run through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chest to chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to down. Nice deep breath here. On your exhale, you can hop or step. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Give your hips a little shake back and forth. Right there. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat, we're going to take our arms, lift them up above the head. Sigh those shoulders down the back. Check in with your knees, make sure they're not knocking in. Imagine you're holding a giant beach ball here. You're going to twist, bend, and fold with the beach ball. So first, keeping the hips where you are, holding that beach ball, twist your midsection. Breathing here. Your next exhale will come back to center. Nice big inhale here. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Still holding that beach ball above your head. Feeling the resistance. Releasing any tension in your glutes. Exhale back to center. So holding that beach ball, we're going to bend to one side. Exhale back to center. Nice big inhale here. Exhale out to the other side. Reaching that beach ball over the side, stretching out those intercostal muscles. Your next inhale will come back to center. Imagine you've got that beach ball behind your back and you're about to throw it really far. And then imagine you're throwing it forward and release your arms down. Your shoulders a little shake out. Your arms hang to the side for a minute. And then just rock back and forth with your knees. Rock back and forth as much as you're comfortable. Bring your knees into it really deeply, really shallowly. Just go from side to side with your hips. See if you can feel any stretching in the outer seams of your shorts. And then we'll come back to stillness. Then, of course, we'll do a few tilts and tucks of the pelvis. Keeping those knees stationary this time. Just concentrating that movement from the belly button to the hips. And then doing the side to side, again, concentrating within the hips and the belly button. And of course, coming forward to the side, back and to the side, making a nice diamond shape with your hips. And then rounding that diamond shape out, going in both directions here. If you find a sore spot or a stuck spot, maybe take a moment there. If you notice that maybe, I've noticed that my knees just skip over one part. So maybe spend a little bit of time in that one spot. And when you feel like your hips are fully juiced up and that your organs below your belly button are all nice and moving, we can come back to our mountain pose, standard Urdhva Hastasana. Sorry. Inhale, lift your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. From here, we're going to come into our chair pose. So we'll tuck that tailbone under, act like we're about to sit down, bend the knees, and bring the arms forward. Heels can be on the mat. From here, we're going to exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands and step back to plank pose. From here, run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. So downward facing dog, we're going to lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale to bend the knee, open up those hips. Bring that foot forward, help it if you need to. You're going to rotate that back heel down. Get a nice sturdy stance in your low lunge. And then you can bring your arms, head, neck, and chest off your leg and come into your warrior one. On your next exhale, you can bring your hands behind you, interlock your fingers back behind your back, bring your shoulder down to your knee. You adjust your knee now that you have the support of your shoulder. Your next inhale, you can come back to your warrior one. Exhale to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, running through your vinyasa or lowering your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhale over upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. On your next inhale, bring the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open up your hips. Swing your foot forward, help it if you need to. You're going to rotate that back heel down. When you're ready, we're going to lift the head, neck, and chest off of the thigh from warrior one. Breathing in warrior one. Your next exhale, bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers back behind you with weird thumb on top. Bring that shoulder down to the mat. Next inhale, we'll come back to our warrior one. Exhale to frame the front foot, that front foot back to meet the back. Plank pose, run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat, inhale into full cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. Deep breath in down dog. When you're ready, you can hop or step forward. Sort of forward fold at the front of the mat. From here, you can gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling the arms above the head for Urdhva Hastasana. exhaling into your chair pose, like you're about to sit your bum down onto the ground. Gonna fold forward here, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low or upward facing dog. Pressing back to a down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee. Swing your foot forward, help it if you need to. We're gonna rotate that back heel down. This time we're gonna windmill the arms up for warrior two. Reaching your arms in either direction, knee is tracking over that second toe. Bring that palm forward and back to reverse your warrior. Try not to dump any weight in this back. Your next inhale, you can give that front leg a rest as you come forward and down. Triangle. On your next exhale, you can bend that knee again and come into your side angle pose. Here we're going to windmill the arms down and come to your wide-legged forward fold, side of the mat. Walk your fingertips behind you. Maybe get a little bit more stretch. And walk your fingertips back to the front. We're going to stretch to one side. You can pick whatever side you want. Just going to come into a nice half squat, whatever that means to you. So, for your half squat, could be up here, could be down here. You could lift that toe into the air, maybe feel a stretch here in your inner thigh. If this heel is down, that's awesome. I can't seem to get by. You can push that bum back up in the air. Just go to the other side. Whatever expression was in on the first side, go ahead and get to the second side. You're ready, we're gonna push that bum back up into the air. And just bend your one knee and then the other. Keep your hands on the ground if that's nice. If that feels nice to you, your heels can come up. But we're just bending one knee and then the other, really leaning into the side. When you've had enough of that, you can walk those fingertips to the front, kick that front foot back, feed the back so you're in plank pose. You can run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog, pressing back to a down. On your next inhale, we're gonna lift the left leg into the air, like a dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Lower that back heel down. Pull windmill the arms up for warrior two. Breathing in warrior two. Knees tracking over that second toe, arms are reaching out in either direction. Pop that palm up into the air, forward and back. Give that front knee a break. Forward and down for triangle pose. On your next exhale, you can come back into your side angle pose, placing your forearm over the side. You will windmill the arms down, come back into your wide-legged forward fold. This time we'll go ahead and heel toe the feet together, come into a squat. Your heels can be on the mat, they can be on a blanket, block. Press those knees away from you with your elbows, pressing your hands against each other. Pull out. No big deal. Come back in. So type it. No. When you're ready, complete. Back on the mat, bring that bum back into the air. Walk yourself around, come back into your plank pose. Run through your vinyasa or lower your knees. Just in front of that. Inhale for a look over, upward facing dog. Press back to it. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're going to forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins for a nice flat back. Exhale to fold forward, and then gently roll up to stand. All right, staying in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet are about hips width distance apart. On your next inhale, let's lift the arms into the air. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat. Exhale to fold forward. You plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Run through your vinyasa. Lower your knees, chest to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And press back into a down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open up the foot. This time we're going to come into lizard pose. So bring that foot forward to your hand, foot. All right, in lizard pose, if you are happy here, you can stay here. If you would like to drop that back knee down, you certainly can. If you would like to bring your forearms to the mat, you can. You can also bring your forearms to blocks. Just really finding space in those psoas muscles, finding space in those hip creases. Whatever expression of the pose you're in, go ahead and bring those palms back to the mat. Take that back knee up. We'll take that front leg and get all the way back up to our three-legged dog. And on your next exhale, we're going to pull all that shin forward, come into our pigeon pose. Giving yourself any support you may need, really taking that back leg straight as a pin behind you. Your heel can be in line with this opposite hip. And just fold forward, coming into your Inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. So any adjustment you may need, feel like a pigeon. Go back into your tabletop pose. Give yourself a little hip shake back and forth. We'll tuck those back toes under and press back into your downward facing dog. Your next inhale, we're going to lift the left leg into the air for three-legged dog. Bend the knee. This time we're going to come into lizard pose. Again, if you're happy in this hand, foot with the knee up, you certainly can stay here. If you'd like to drop that back knee down, if you'd like to bring your forearms to the mat or maybe to block. We're just opening up those psoas muscles. Feeling that area. Sinking in that area between the hip and the groin. See if you can remove any tension you have in your glutes or in your jaw. Any props you may have. Kick this back toe under, lift this back knee up. Then we're gonna kick this front foot back to our three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that shin forward. Set yourself up for pigeon on the other side. Leg should come straight back behind you like a pin. Your heel can be in line with your hip. Opposite. Inhaling up and coming down. Now you can lift your head back, chest off the mat. Wiggle your legs underneath you so you're in a tabletop pose. Give your hips a little tilt and twist, tilt and twist, tilt and up. Your hips shake back and forth, and we'll press up into downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank and run through your vinyasa. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for your upward facing dog. Pressing back to down. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to the forward fold at the front of the mat. Actually, let's not do that. Let us press back into our plank pose and lay down onto the mat and roll onto one side. Let's roll onto one side, bringing your elbow underneath your head as a headrest, bringing your knees bent and together. And we're going to place the bottoms of the feet together again. We're just going to open and close the legs in a nice clamshell. Let's say for 15 times. Okay. Go ahead and you've had 15 of those. Go ahead and straighten out your leg. We'll just kick the leg up into the air, back down. Second time, come back down. Kicking that leg up, then back down. Two more like that, kicking your leg up and back down. One more, kicking up and back down. Extend both legs out this time. So they're like a 45 to make it like that. So they're like a 45-degree angle. We're gonna lift both feet into the air and make giant scissors cutting through the air. Like 10 of these, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. I know, so scared. Don't bring those legs down. We'll go ahead and roll on to the other side. Starting with the feet together, knees bent, do about 15 clamshells. Sit. You can extend that leg out. And we'll kick up into the air about 5 times. 1, 2, 4, 5. Then we'll straighten both legs, extend them at about a 45-degree angle. And we'll make big scissors slicing through the air, about 10 of these. And 12. And then when you're done with those, we'll roll onto our backs. You can windshield wiper out the knees, back and forth. That feels nice for you. We'll just bring the feet about hip width distance, so you're just about grazing the heels with your fingertips. And we'll come into our bridge pose. From here, you can just tilt and tuck the tailbone a few times. It might feel nice to tuck the tailbone under and lift the pelvis up a little so you can get a nice stretch in the top of your thighs. Give you a nice burning sensation. And when you're ready, you can lift your hips into the air. You can move your shoulder blades beneath. You can interlace your hands back behind your back. Get 3 to 5 good breaths here. You can always place a block under your sacrum for a supported bridge pose. You can release your hands, release your shoulders, release your spine back down to the mat. And windshield wiper out your knees back and forth. And when you're ready, tuck that tailbone under and come back up into your second bridge. Option to bring your shoulder blades behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back. Can't do this, but 3 to 5 good breaths here. Never come. Not even close. It's not time yet. Release your hands, release your spine back down to the mat. Gonna windshield wiper your legs out back and forth. When you're ready, you can tuck that tailbone under, lift your hips into the air, and come into your final bridge pose. Release your hands, release your spine back down. Just wiper your knees back and forth a few times. And hug both knees into the chest nice and tight. Rock back and forth or roll from side to side. We're gonna drop the left leg down. Bring the right leg into the chest nice and tight. We're gonna grab the ankle with the left leg. And move your knee, your shin, so it's about at a 45-degree angle to your body. And pull that knee in nice and tight so you're almost reaching towards your arm. Release your leg down. Grab the other one nice and tight to your chest. Grab your ankle with the opposite hand. Move your shin so it's about at a 45-degree angle and pull that leg nice and tight against you like you're reaching for your armpit with your knee. Release that leg down. We're going to bring the feet together again like we were for clamshells. This time our legs are going to be wide. You can place blocks under your knees, place a pillow under your knees, or you can just let your legs rest. Your heels can be as close or as far away from your body as are comfortable. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana or reclining goddess pose. Just place your hands under your thighs. It's like some extra support there. We're going to move the knees slightly about an inch closer together. Maybe 2 inches. See if you can feel a tremor building in your sit bones, maybe the back of the thighs. See if you can find that tremor. What angle your knees need to be at to find that tremor in your thigh. A nice, beautiful, muscle relaxing tremor. Slowly bring those knees together until you find someplace that might be a little bit shaky. Might find a tremor in. Then you can bring your knees all the way together and straighten your legs out. We're going to do a gentle inversion, whatever that means to you. Place a block under your sacrum. You can place the legs up against the wall. You can just bring your legs into the air. You can grab your back for a supported shoulder stand. You can always bring your feet behind you for a cloud pose. Release your legs, release any blocks or support you may have. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth again. It's not time yet. Go ahead and hug one knee. Ow, please get off. Hug one knee into the chest. And then the other. Nice and tight. And we'll roll to one side for a gentle twist. Next, inhale, you bring your knees into your chest, and exhale them down to the opposite side. Not time. No, not time. Not time. Next, inhale, you bring your knees back into your chest. Reach for the inner soles of the feet and come into a heaven. You can rock from side to side. And pull the knees into your armpits. Work on moving one leg at a time. Release your hands on your feet. Release your legs back down. Up into your final resting. You get to bring your awareness back to your breath. Make small movements in your fingers and toes. And then using your arm as a pillow, roll into the fetal position. Take a deep breath. Using that same slow quality of movement, come up to a comfortable seat. Close with one arm, hands together at heart center. Inhaling. Om.